Today we're going to harvest some of our borage over here, and we're going to share with you what we're going to do with it. Also, some of its medicinal benefits coming up. Welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to harvest some of our borage over here. So today we're talking about borage. It's a plant you can easily grow from seed. It's an annual, and it also is known by several other names: starflower, bee bush, and bee bread, and tailwort. Now we're calling this borage, but I probably should really call it bee bush because there are so many bees on this borage this year. There were gigantic bumblebees and honeybees and tiny little other bees. I don't know what they are, but there were bees all over the place. Now this plant was kind of an experiment because I have an idea for what we're going to do with it, and it took off really well. We're going to show you some of what it looks like here. You can tell looking at it, it really took off, and it's supposed to get about 3 feet tall. I don't think it probably got that tall, or if it did, it fell over, which is fine. It still grows just the same. There are lots of parts of borage that you can use. You can use the leaves, and you can use the stem and the flowers. The flowers are probably the most commonly used because they're a beautiful blue. They make for a great way to decorate cakes without using chemicals and a whole ton of sugar. The other great benefit for us is that they don't need a fancy soil, and we have a lot of clay here, so they did really well. And not only do they grow well, but they help put nutrients back into the ground. Hi, sweet kitty. Borage likes to grow in full sunlight or dappled sunlight. You can see here in our garden that we have full sun. This is the hottest spot on the farm in the summertime, and it made an ideal spot for this borage. Now we started it in the spring in seeds in our greenhouse, and then we moved it out here later. It turns out that grasshoppers really love this, so that can be a good thing. It can help deter grasshoppers from other crops that you might not want them in, such as lemon balm, and we so happen to plant lemon balm just next to the borage, so I don't know if that was such a good idea, but we will check it out when we check out the lemon balm and see if the grasshoppers went for it or the borage. You say hi? We'll say hi to the camera. Look, there you are. So what do we use borage for? Borage flowers can be used in salad, decorating cakes, as we mentioned earlier, and also they can be sugared and preserved so that they can be used for decorating at later times. The flowers can also be used for inside of sandwiches. The leaves can be steamed and stir-fried and cooked and eaten plain. The plant tastes very much like a cucumber, so you can use it in any recipe where you might be using cucumbers, such as borage lemonade, strawberry borage drinks, jellies and sauces, and you can also put the flowers in ice cubes to make a pretty decoration with. Somebody's loving the attention. The flowers can also be used in teas and tinctures, syrups and vinegars, and they can also be crystallized. The medicinal qualities of borage are: it works as a diuretic, it helps with bronchitis, colds, and flus, also with arthritis, and as a sedative to help calm the nerves during times of stress and trauma. It's useful for eczema, for helping nail fungus, and it's high in healthy fatty acids. A few contraindications before we head inside and show you what we're going to do with our borage. You want to make sure this is something that you don't take or utilize while you're pregnant or nursing. And also you want to check with your doctor if you're taking any medications to make sure that the borage isn't going to interact with that, especially if you're taking medication such as aspirin or seizure medication. Also, borage is something not to use with anyone under 12 years of age, and you don't want to use borage for a long time. It does act on the liver and can have negative effects when used for too long. So with that, we're going to head inside. I'm going to be dehydrating the borage leaves, And I think we're going to crystallize some of those flowers for decorations and a treat. So off we go. St. Fiacre's Farm.
Fiacre.
Fiacre?
Fiacre.
Thanks for joining us on the farm.